everybody, Aaron Blaise here, and it is December 17th, Friday, and we are back again. Man, these weeks go by faster and faster, but I am so glad that we are back and streaming in your whatever you're watching us on. And we're gonna have a good time today. Today we get to announce the winner of our animal hybrids contest that has been going on for the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Man, it's we got so many. It took me a long time. I hope you guys understand how long it takes to go through these. Well, first of all, it's an absolute pleasure to go through them because it's a lot of fun and I'm laughing and I'm in awe and everybody's just always they submit stuff that's so well thought out and really cool stuff. So I decided to go ahead and I picked about 80 or 90 that I thought deserved some kind of response and for you guys to see. I wanted to treat it more like as if we were in art school and everyone's putting their assignment up on the wall and we're doing a critique. And not that I'm going to critique them. I'm not going to be harsh or anything. But I did pick probably the top 10% that I liked that deserve some kind of recognition in some way or another. And so we're going to talk about those. And then I picked about 9 or 10 of my top picks, and then we got the winner out of that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go through that today. And then, but we also, because we are so close to Christmas, we've got a lot of sales going on.
Yes.
We are right in the middle of the 12 days of Christmas.
Today is day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas.
Day 5. Well, not quite in the middle then, so go close.
Just about.
Yeah.
We are having a new sale every day on the website from now till Christmas, and today is one of the biggest ones yet, which is up to 60% off of our animation classes. So our complete animation course, our acting for animation course, storyboarding classes, all that stuff, anything that's animation related is 60% off, 50 to 60% off right now over at creatureartteacher.com, and I've posted the link on all of the chats, and if not, if you go right to the homepage, you'll see a link there.
I mean, technically, on sale, isn't it all animation related? I mean, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, really.
I mean, I could animate a painting. It'd take me a long time, but we could do it.
Yeah. So head on over to creatureartteacher.com. That's today only, and the complete animation course is the best deal. That's 60% off, and that's like our number one selling course. So this is one of the best prices of the year to get it if you don't already have it. And there's a bunch of other great stuff on there. We've got 2 new courses coming out too very soon. We've got drawing with life, energy, and story from David Coleman. That's 50% off. That's comes out next week. And we also have another 50% off class, visual development with Armand Serrano, which is also 50% off pre-order. And those both come out next week. So if you head over to creatureartteacher.com, you can snag those for low prices. And also, it's a great time to become a member to our website because all of those things are included.
I want to just reiterate, what I think about when we bring in other artists to teach classes, to teach these courses. I wouldn't hire anybody I wouldn't bring anybody in that I wouldn't want to learn from myself or have worked with or something like that. And I just want to let you guys know that every single one of these guys that are teaching on these courses, I have worked with in the past at Disney or somewhere else. And mostly at Disney. Armand and I worked together for years at Disney. David Coleman and I worked together at Disney and at Paramount. Chuck and I worked together for 20 plus years at Disney. Tim Hodge and I worked for years at Disney. Lyndon and I worked for years at Digital Domain and Disney. After Disney, Paramount, that sort of thing. I've seen in other colleges and things like that, a lot of the instructors there, and this is something that I experienced when I was in school. So many of the instructors, and I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily how it is now, but I'm going off of the way I experienced college. Many of the instructors I had or that I saw were instructors that they may have been part of the industry at one time, but had left the industry and they just wanted to finish out their career and teach. and they really weren't keeping up with any kind of relevancy within the field that they were teaching. And that really bothered me. And I sometimes see that in colleges with animation as well. And that really bugs me. I think, especially nowadays, when animation and a lot of the things that we teach are changing so quickly, their industry is changing, and I want I want things to stay relevant, and it's one of the reasons that we're continuing to create content as well with Snow Bear and that sort of thing. But I want people that are part of that career, part of the changing tide that we see happening, in this industry. Those are the people I want teaching. And so that's why we brought Armand Serrano in to teach visual development, because he is actively doing visual development. And the same with David Coleman, who's doing exactly what he's teaching, and Tim Hodge, who's doing exactly what he's teaching within the industry. Chuck Williams doing exactly what he's teaching in the industry. So those are the things, and because first of all, when you guys learn them, it's going to when you learn from these courses, it's a direct reflection of what's current and what's relevant now. So just I wanted to put that out there to just to reiterate why we're doing what we're doing with the people that we do it with. So there you go.
Here's a cool comment we just got on Twitch. Hey Aaron, it's Cal, the winner of the Drama of Nature contest.
Hey Cal.
He got his iPad. I want to tell you how much of an honor it is to have my artwork seen by you. I'm a 15-year-old boy, and you are my biggest artistic inspiration. I recently met Manu Carrasco at the zoo, and we talked about your next artist trip, so hopefully I can meet you in real life one day.
Right on.
The iPad arrived this week. It's amazing. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, look at that. 15-year-old. He won the contest last week because one of the things that really struck me was his thought process and the concept itself that he put into it. I thought the execution was wonderful, but I also thought the thought process behind it was strong as well. So when I'm going through these, I'm not necessarily going to pick the best, most beautifully rendered piece. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that, but I'm also looking for thought process and originality and all of that. And so I'm really glad, Cal, that you got your iPad, and I'm glad you won everything. I really enjoyed doing that last week. You want to dive into this one, you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we've got Dustin here. We've got Nick here. And so we're going to get into this. Let me...
And by the way, speaking of those iPads and this contest, we definitely want to thank our sponsor,
have you gone to this screen?
For donating the prizes. So without that, this wouldn't be possible.
Yes. So thank you, Cash for Your Mac. And that's why we have Animal Hybrids as presented by, well, it's presented by us, but it's sponsored by cashforyourmac.com. And so once again, I just want to put a plug in for them because we couldn't do this without them. And they're such a great company. They're great guys. They're kind of in it for the same reason we are. They want to give back. And there's so many people out there that want to get Apple products but just can't afford it. And cashforyourmac.com is a great option because they are used pieces of equipment that have been refurbished to new, almost new. And I really recommend them.
Plus, if you are starting out, kind of getting in that trade in and trade up cycle,
yeah,
is a good way to do it, because typically what happens is, if you use a model for 2 years, in 2 years you can trade it in for a newer model and get a great value for it and just kind of keep up to date. It's a good option versus always buying something brand new, which is just unattainable for a lot of people.
Absolutely. So
let's dive in.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I'm not necessarily going to be able to hit everyone's names, just because we haven't had time to do all of that. But I did go through and pick the images. Some of the images that just struck me. Some of them I thought were funny. Some of them I thought just had nice texture. I'm just going to go through and talk about quite a few of them, and then we'll get to our top picks, and then we'll get to our winners. So. I'm just going to start clicking through this one. I just thought, you know what? If you're going to blend a bison and a rhino, this was a good job. First of all, I thought it was a really great combination. A bison and a rhino have similar shapes. They're completely different animals, but have similar shapes, and so I thought it was interesting to put them together, and they blend together so well. And I thought this one was rendered nicely by Farid Khan. This one made me laugh. At first, when I saw it in the thumbnail, I thought he was throwing his middle finger at me. But then, but then I blew it up, and oh, it's a banana. But I love the reference for this one too. The it's a type of cardinal that has this big red flare. You see them a lot. They're from Brazil, but you see them in Hawaii a lot as well. Um, that mixed with the tree frog, I thought was a really cool little bit. This one just made me laugh, and I didn't throw in the finished render. I liked the little thought process behind it, but especially the one that's just in pencil right here. Imagine coming out and seeing this little trash panda that's actually a tiger. That's what I thought was funny. Just raccoons that are ferocious like tigers could just, I thought was hilarious. I love the rendering on this one. The pencil, I know that it's digital, but the just the pencil like line work on the fur and everything, I thought was really nice. I really loved. This is a cougar moose, bear mix. Cougar moose bear, I think is what it is. Um, really nice, and I love the texture. I love the handling of the fur, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks and made me want to explore it a little bit. This one, what struck me about this one is, first of all, it's horrifying. They're ripping apart an elephant like this, but they're vultures, and I was amazed. And these are turkey vultures, and I was amazed at how well a turkey vulture mixes with a giraffe's head. They're basically the same shape, so I thought that was kind of cool, and I really like the textures of the head and all that. There's some cool stuff in there. I like the rendering on this. This guy feels wet, and it feels like he's right there. And this tree frog and bat mix.
Oh yeah, that one's nice. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, it's funny how and I learned this a long time ago when I was trying to paint something wet. I did this hippo painting years ago in oil, and it's not until you get to these little sparkly white highlights that you kind of put tastefully all over, in the right places, that all of a sudden it becomes wet and very glistening, and it's very cool. This one, there was their shepherd, Australian shepherd, mixed with a kangaroo, and I love the look on the shepherd's face. He's just the reference was their shepherd looking out the window, and they just kind of put that on a bouncing kangaroo. I thought that was funny.
By the way, if you see your artwork today, please let us know in the comments. So
Yeah.
we get the chance to put everybody's names up. So
Yeah, I didn't have time to go through and do that, but I really like that. This is from Jet Sestaro, one of our friends on Facebook, and I just laughed out loud when I saw this basset hound and cow with the most disgusting udders I've ever seen.
That's pretty rough.
I don't want to milk that cow.
Everything's droopy.
Looks
So-
like a puma.
And one of the things too that I do want to, if people don't mind, I will throw in a pieces of advice and little bits of critique here and there. And one thing I could say for this one, Jet, is don't be afraid. A lot of times I'm seeing on your illustrations a lot of softness. Don't be afraid to put some hard edges in there, and hard textures and that sort of thing, because it'll help, especially in areas where you want to draw attention. It'll help bring definition and draw attention to the right places. But I love this. This is a bear. That's the other thing too. The other thing that made me laugh is the idea of completely unrelated. This is a bear and a lobster.
A bear and a lobster.
It's a bear lobster. Yeah. At first, I thought there was an owl in there too, and there might be. I can't remember, but I know. Remember looking at it. It's a bear lobster.
Yeah, the
I think the
eyebrows.
brows. I think the eyebrows
Yeah.
gives it that owl vibe.
Yeah.
There's gotta be an
Now, this is another one where I'll throw a little critique in there. One thing that would help it when you look at that, if I would recompose it, looking at that lobster claw, the way the lobster claw comes around and reconnects right at the point of the claw, right on the side of the mouth there. Not the lower claw, but the upper claw, the big thick part. it becomes a tangent, and it becomes an area of tension where everything kind of meets up there, and you can't tell when you first glance at it if that claw is separate from the body. So if you were to recompose this and kind of break out that claw in silhouette from the rest of the body, it would be a clearer representation of the animal itself. But that being said, I thought this was still pretty cool. This one too, I just thought it was fun, lots of fun, and it's sloth gecko thing. So very, very cool, very appealing. This is one that I picked out. I I love the presentation. I love the presentation, the thinking, everything that you put into it. The final render, I think you could have taken more time and think about shape more and treat areas like treat large masses like shapes, like the fur and that sort of thing, and treat them a bit more solid. You're breaking up your values a lot. There's big changes in values throughout. And so what happens as a result in your finished piece is that you lose the form because the value is being broken up so much. Your lights and darks and shapes and forms get broken up too much. Okay, but that being said, I really wanted to. I wanted to include this so that people could understand the thought process and see all the work that you put into it, because I really think it's great. Now, let me. I want to go back really quick on this. Look at number 4. If you look at the upper part, um, where you have your sketches. If you look at number 3 and number 4, as far as your lighting goes, that is much clearer than number 5, where you add your detailing. Because when you added your detailing, you started to go in and add too much light into your shadow areas, and that's where you lost your form.
If you wanted to, Aaron, you could jump out of full screen and do a little trouble with 5 thing and then just go back to full screen.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
Just a thought.
Cool.
And also, Autumn Beverly commented saying that the giraffe vulture was hers.
Oh, right on. Cool. I love it. This just terrified me.
Yeah, I saw that one. It reminds me of like, isn't there like a famous Greek painting of Zeus or something like, or where he's biting the heads off, or like,
Yeah,
not Zeus, but it's like the father of the.
yeah, he's eating his children. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. I saw that. I was like,
And it's just, and he's got a horse wrapped up. I mean, jeez. Yeah, it just terrified me. So it did a good job there. I thought that was cool. This one, stylistically, I loved it. I just loved the style of this, and I just thought it was worth throwing in here. Um,
oh yeah, that's cool.
I just love it. Yeah, I would frame this and hang this on my wall. I really, really dig it. And we're doing we just finished up taping a new animation course with Tim Hodge, where he's doing kind of do-it-yourself experimental animation. And some of what we've done, what we did, or what he demonstrated, was paper cutout animation, and I could really see this as being something that you could do, with that course. It's really cool. I just loved this. I just laughed at it and thought I liked the attitude of it, the atmosphere. It felt cold. But the idea of sandhill cranes and deer. This is actually the reference for this, Dustin, was your mother, sandhill crane, and baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. They used one of your shots.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then a deer.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of see it now.
Yeah, it was really cool.
We got some really nice entries.
Yeah, I thought we got some overall just really, really nice ones. This one here, I just wanted to call out the dappled light. I thought you did a great job. And obviously being a lemur and a leopard, I thought that was cool too. But I just thought overall your environment, the lighting, I thought was really nicely done. So good job. These two, I was Dog Shark. That's a Saturday morning cartoon, man. Right there.
Mark?
Yep, Dog Shark. yeah. He patrols the beaches it's going to write itself. I just love it.
Sure.
The lower right one I thought was a little too far. We lost some of the anatomy, but the upper two drawings really stopped me in my tracks. I just love them. I love them, love them. I thought they were great.
Yeah, the style of that is super cool.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see it as a cartoon. I'm telling you. I loved this one. I really liked how you did the photo bashing textures, and Gorilla's face with chameleon eyes is just really creepy, but I thought it was cool. And nice job on, like I said, nice job on those textures.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just once again, I thought this one blended together nice. I wanted to pick ones that kind of stylistically went out on a limb a little bit too, and I like that they did this on a textured background. And I like that, rather than being ferocious and trying to kill something like a lot of them have done, you've got two major predators, and he's just sitting there having his teeth cleaned by some plovers. This one I thought overall was a really cool illustration and had a very nice kind of magical feel to it. I also picked it for a little bit of a critique because I love that you're trying to do the dappled light, but part of the dappled lighting fails a little bit because of the hard edges on those shadows. And so if you would just blur those edges on those shadows on the dappled light, then it would be much, much more successful, and it wouldn't feel so broken up because a lot of the edges on the shadows are just as hard as some of the edges on the markings, and it starts to break the form up.
There's a nice storybook feeling to this.
It really does have that kind of whimsical fairy tale storybook feel to it. And right away I got it was a fox and a monarch butterfly. I got all of that. Like I said, I chose it for the two reasons. I liked how whimsical it was, but I also wanted to point out, in order to get that better shadow effect and dappled light effect, don't forget to soften those edges. You can sometimes get somewhat hard edges, but by and large, when you see dappled light, especially from trees, those edges are going to be soft. The shadow edges.
Good tip.
I just liked it. I loved the photo bashing and the textures, and I just thought it was a really cool mixture of orangutan, pangolin, and we got a little bit of jellyfish in there as well, and his little cheek flaps. I'm starting to get cheek flaps, I think.
That's an interesting combination of.
Yeah, and what what else I like? He's using, or she, I think, are they using? I don't know if they actually used real fur. I think those are my fur brushes. At first, I thought it was real fur, but I think they actually used all fur brushes. And I know that fur anywhere. Now that I'm looking at it really hard, that's from my fur brushes. I thought for sure it was at first orangutan.
By the way, yesterday's sale was all brush and texture sets for $1, and that's still going because I didn't turn it off. So you can still get all brush and texture sets.
Yeah, so if you want to be able to paint fur like this, because this is definitely my fur brushes. If you want to paint that, go on over and check them out. I've got 2 sets of fur brushes that they work great.
You can get both for $2.
Yep. Yeah, come on, $2.
$2.
And I think for $2, I think it's like 40 or 50 brushes. This one I thought was just really well done. I thought it was, I liked the lighting, I liked the texture, I liked the style, I liked everything about it. And nice job on our giraffe kangaroo.
Feels a little James Gurney-ish, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I like the texture in the back and like right along where the trees meet the sky, that texture right there. I thought that was nice. The painterly quality of it. Nice job on the forms. Everything works great. This one I laughed out loud. I just laughed with your gecko chihuahua. It's a gecko chihuahua. I think that's a chihuahua. Gecko.
The Chihuahua gecko. Chihuahua.
Chueco, yeah. What'd you say?
Chihuahua.
Chueco. There you go.
I'm trying to mix the names of the different.
And stylistically, I like it too. I just like the bold little brush strokes. But yeah, this one just made me laugh. This one too. I just thought this was really, really cool. I'd love to see it animated. Little marmoset.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah,
I like
Marmot, marmoset in a. I'm assuming it's uh, a macaw.
I like
I can't remember. I didn't look at the this one. I can't remember looking at the their prompts.
I love the color of turquoise and aqua greens, kind of.
Yeah, man, I was just down. No, that's the other thing I want to tell you guys. I was just down at a place called Natural Encounters. If you want to see them, go to naturalencounters.com. And these are some folks. Actually, I consulted with them when I did my Birds of Prey course, how to draw birds of prey. And we're talking about getting together again, maybe in the springtime, and doing a actually in-person workshop where we draw birds, not just birds of prey, but all kinds of hornbills and cranes and storks and eagles and hawks and all kinds of stuff. And one of the things they have is about 150 different macaws, all different species. And this just reminds me of that. It was really, really amazing. This one, I love this drawing. I love this illustration. I thought it was great until I saw this person's sketches, and and this is no, I'm not slamming what you've done here, but I do look at the ones on the lower right. Some of those drawings I liked even better. There's so much. I just saw these and just got completely sucked in these little character drawings, and I just absolutely love them. Thought they were really cool. I really kind of wanted to see one or two of these rendered out in the same way that you rendered the one where he's sitting, because I think they might be a little bit more descriptive. But either way, I thought it was done well. So there's your finish, which I thought is great. But I really love these sketches, especially the ones on the right there. Really cool job. Barracuda. This is a barracuda gull. Yeah, barracuda gull. And I think there's a mackerel mixed in there too. Yeah, barracuda gull. It's a flying fish. Have you ever seen a flying fish?
Flying fish?
I don't think I know you've never seen a flying fish. You ever seen a flying fish, Nick?
Yeah, yes.
It's the most. I used to see them all the time when I was a kid. We'd go out and we'd fish for mahi on my father's charter boat. We go out and remember one time we were coming back. We were coming back in the dark, and we are coming back in really high winds. And I was sitting on the back of the boat, looking back towards the spray of the boat, looking backwards, and the spray is going over the top of the boat, and I'm just looking into the darkness, and there's a light on the stern. The stern is the back of the boat. There's a light on shining, behind us where we've been, and this fish about, I don't know, 9-10 feet off the water, a fish just flies in to the light. So imagine sitting on the back, and it's all this spray is flying over the boat, and all of a sudden this fish just comes flying into the spotlight, and he's flying like 10 feet from my face, and just gliding, and then turned and glided into the darkness. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I kind of paused is when I saw them, they were kind of way off in the distance, so I saw them, but I didn't really get
Well, most of the time you see a flying fish, we'd be cruising along, and they'll get going, and they'll kind of ride their tail. Their body will come up out of the water, and they'll ride their tail for a little while, and then they'll just hit it, and then their tail will come off the water, and they'll fly about 3 feet off the water, and they'll actually follow the waves. They'll, as a wave comes up, they'll go up and go over the wave and follow the contours, and then splash back in. But this fish, because he was flying into the wind, he had caught that wind and was just like 8-10 feet off the water and just gliding along. It was amazing.
That's pretty much exactly what I saw, what you described away. But it was, like I said, it was more off in the distance. So.
Yeah. This one, I really love the rendering of this one. There's an illustrator back when I was in college. There's an illustrator, and he still might be illustrating. I don't know. His name was Brault Bralds.
Brawl, what?
Brault Bralds.
Brawl. Brawl.
Yeah, he's very well known. I think he's from the Netherlands. It's Braldt. Look him up. See if he's still around. Brault Bralds. But anyway, I really loved his illustration style, and this reminded me of his work. I just thought it was really cool. Also, Anita Kuntz. Anita Kuntz was another illustrator. I think she's still around. I'm talking 35 years ago, so I don't know. But this, I just love the style of this.
Yeah, those are fun.
This is another one. I love the drawing, especially on the face, the head, the front end. Um, I just thought this was a really cool drawing between and I loved the reference. I didn't save the reference, but if you guys could see it, this blinded hyena was really cool, along with the gorilla and all that. I thought they mixed it well, but I love the caricature of the hyena that they did here.
Yeah, I mean that seemed believable.
Yeah, completely. It's a squirrel platypus. Yeah, a squirrelopus. That one just made me laugh when I saw it. I thought it was cute. Yeah, I thought it was really cute. And this one, I saved this one because I was amazed at how well it worked.
A koal.
Yeah, koal. Koal.
A koal.
But yeah, it's really funny. You just change the shape of the nose. You got an owl. And this one too, I like the style. I thought it was really well rendered, and stylistically, I thought it was really cool. Some of them, there's quite a few that I picked, for varying reasons, and this one I thought it was a really solid piece. It was a mixture between a vulture, owl, and fox, and I loved their reference sheet that they showed, and this is really nice. Another one, it just made me laugh seeing this tiger's head at the end of this long neck. I thought it was cool, so I threw it in there. I liked it. I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, there's something about the color palette that makes that work.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. This is one I just loved all the little sketches. I just thought it was really cool to take a lynx and a seal, mix them together, and then all these great little poses that they came up with. I love it. This, this is the kind of thing that we would do at Disney when we were coming up with our characters, and we just sit there and come up with poses and situations, and this is how they would develop. And so I love seeing this because I'm seeing a thought process, and I think it's great. This one I thought was really cool. A bunny elephant taper, I think. So the far eye, I don't think you needed to have it there. I think you could have gotten away with not putting it there. But and then that the end of the trunk is really cool. It's creepy, but it's cool.
It reminds me of the monster from Stranger Things.
Yeah, but friendly.
We're friendly.
Yeah, he's gonna kiss you with that trunk,
And then eat you.
and then eat you. Yeah, I've been watching this that show. Is it Invasion on Apple?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Yep.
Yeah, and the creatures are kind of funky mouths like that a little bit. I like the render on this. I just thought it was a nice render, so I thought I'd throw in there some nice drawing in there, nice textures, nice mix. Gorilla and rhino.
That's kind of a terrifying mix.
Yeah, yeah. There's no defeating that.
Yeah, there is something nice though about how the arch of the apex of the gorilla head comes down. It fits the form of the rhino.
Yeah,
shape well.
exactly.
What would you? How would you pronounce the name of that one? Is it gorilla or rhino?
A rhinilla.
A rhinilla?
Yeah, why not? A rhinilla?
A rhinilla or
A gorino?
a,
I go
a
rhino.
gorno?
A gorino, there you go.
Half gorilla, half rhino, gorno?
This one I just thought was super cute.
That's
So
a
I,
horse.
yeah, it's a little miniature horse mixed with a bumblebee. And if you saw
A normal horse.
yeah, Gretchen, if you saw the reference, it's literally a little mini horse, and it's really super cute.
Oh,
Yeah, but I just love using the bee's eye. There's something about it, the shape of a bee's eye that's really pleasing and really beautiful. And she used the fur brushes on here too, which I thought was cool.
yeah. The the enlargement of the eyes makes it a lot more pleasing
Pleasing.
and
Yeah,
welcoming. Very wholesome.
very wholesome. Yes. This one, I could see this in a movie. I just thought it was cool. As soon as I saw it, I loved the silhouette. I loved, um, I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. And it's a really cool take on centaurs. You know, I for a while back, the Bancroft started, or Tom Bancroft started Mermaid, and I thought about it, and I thought, why couldn't whales be mermaids as well? And so I
Yeah.
came up with this big whale thing,
I
and
remember
that's why I like this person taking the centaur and saying, any primate can be a centaur. And I just thought it was cool. So this one, I just really loved the thinking and all the reference they pulled together for this. I thought it was really great. Um, they did a lot of prep, thinking about how things work, how the markings worked. They created brushes for it, all kinds of stuff. I think in the execution, I would have liked to have seen maybe a more intimate uh, pose, something where you could get more into the textures and that sort of thing. But I really loved all the work that was put into it. That's why I wanted to show this, because there's really a lot of thought that went into it. Look at all that musculature. They really thought well about it. This guy's, I just thought it was funny that it's a giraffe and a hound dog, and he's tripping on his ears. Made me laugh.
Nice.
Look at that neck. I thought this was beautiful. I like the colors in it. For no other reason, I just thought it was really colorful and fun to look at. So our little squirrel peacock ram thing. This one I was like, oh my God. This one had so many um, uh, animals in it. Lots of reference. There was a lot of study being put into here, but I just thought it was an interesting. I just thought it was interesting. This one kind of stood out from everyone else, so I threw it in there.
Yeah, this one's super cool.
It is
Very,
like, what the hell is going on?
again, that feels like out of a book.
Yeah,
It's got a nice
exactly.
illustrative quality to it.
Look at the lion on the lower right. He's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's a horse, hyena, water buffalo, Cape buffalo mix thing. So this next one, I burst out laughing.
This next one?
Yeah. It's a cat giraffe cleaning himself like a cat.
Wow.
I thought it was hilarious. There's a lot of funny little sketches that went with it. Listen, I just thought was interesting from a thought process. When I was going through, I see that, it's a big cat, whether it's a lion or a leopard, mixed with a red deer, because the red deer have the white spots and the antlers, but they've also taken down a real red deer, and it's like, oh, that's kind of introspective and contemplative and kind of crazy. And I like that you did the grass in a way that really kept the eye in the composition. I like that. I loved the illustrative style of this. I thought it was really, really great, very unique. This bear, crocodile, gharial, Looks more like a gharial combination. But I love just like I said, stylistically, the brush choices, the roughness of it, the way you've rendered the fur on the bear, the stylistic choices that you did for the caricature of the gharial. Um, I just love everything about it. I think it's really cool and would make a great children's book to scare the heck out of a kid.
Super cool.
It is.
Actually, it gives me vibes of like it's a off species of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I
Godzilla.
think it's the way that tail is.
I just like this zebra meerkat. I liked the environment. I just thought it was cool. That's why. That's why it's in there.
Someone just asked how many inches we've got. We got a little over 400, so almost the same as last time. I think a slightly
Yeah.
less.
A lot. A lot. Lot. Yeah. Here's another one where I really like the stylistic, uh, the way they've illustrated it and drawn it. I would love to see when you look at how you've handled the fur and everything in the face. I'd love to see you handle the rest of the composition with that much care and detail. You don't. Let me take that back. You don't have to do that much detail throughout, but that style that you have in the face feels like you lose that style a little bit as we get into like the tree, and I think the tree could have a little bit more. Could be broken up in ways that sort of like the face to keep that stylistic feel throughout the entire composition. But I really like it. Really nicely done. This one, I can't remember the type of bird that this person based this on. I can't remember the name of it. It's this bird with beautiful plumes coming off of its neck and chest. But what came out of this, it just stopped me just looking at this creature. It very much feels like a Miyazaki type
Yeah.
creature, doesn't it? That you'd see in a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, I think it looks like it's based off of Princess Mononoke, like the tree spirit, but maybe it's like
It's just, yeah, it's just magical. I just wanted to throw it in there because I felt like it deserved another look by everybody.
yeah.
I really like this one too. Really cool. I'm not sure that this is any specific animals mixed together other than maybe a deer and bird and dog or something or wolf. Um, I'm not even sure if this was specifically done for this contest, but I thought it was a really cool drawing. I love the anatomy. It's well thought out.
I like that spiral composition
Yeah.
of the tails and the horns.
They definitely feel like they've taken Terrell Whitlatch classes,
Mm-hmm.
courses. That made me laugh. It deserves to be seen by everybody. I just love it.
Now that looks like a Miyazaki inspiration. These in the face, the way that the facial gesture is,
Yeah.
is very Miyazaki.
Going for his little sunflower seed.
Cute.
I love it. And I love, they're stylistically, what I love about people that are able to do this kind of thing is that they're keeping that style throughout. They're really making conscious decisions. Like I'm not going to go too dark in my main focal area. That they only go down to about a medium uh, darkness, about a number 5 on the scale, and keep it all in that range. And it has a certain look to it. And then when you get to the foreground element, which is the finger that's in shadow holding the sunflower seed, that's when they allow themselves to go a little bit darker, which all of a sudden draws it closer and puts more attention on the main subject, which is the rodent. So I just think there's some really good thinking going on in here. I love the drawing on this. I love the face on this warthog, and the way it's drawn into the arms on the gorilla and the hind legs of the warthog. I just thought everything was thought out really well, and I just thought it was drawn well. Nice job. But the same thing with this one, the rhino pangolin. Pangolin scales aren't easy to draw, so I thought this is kind of cool.
And it's a more armored up rhino, that makes it even more terrifying.
Yeah. So look at this one. Look at the reference on this one. So as soon as I saw this, I just laughed because that's what we came up with.
Yeah, this one. I love this one.
I love that they're wearing my hat and they're sitting down there painting with the Art of Aaron Blaise hat. So I love it. I thought it was funny. Yeah,
We got to talk to this person.
I'm a big tiger bear.
We got to talk to this person because I might need to make a T-shirt out of this.
Yeah, I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, there's some.
Everybody says that snorted at this one. I think we all did a little bit.
Yeah, this one cracked me up.
Man, he just nailed that facial gesture perfectly too.
I like the shot of you just in the middle, just staring blankly at the camera.
Yeah. I love it. Great job. This one was so simple, and I love that they just included these two pieces for the reference, a mockingbird and a snail, and then came up with this really cool. It's almost like a tattoo illustration. Really, really neat. I love it. I thought it was really cool. This one made me laugh. Tanya Farn, I thought that was cool. It was funny, and the reference is a dude like kissing his biceps and a bull and all that. They just mixed them together into a really nice, funny little bit here.
What would that be called? Instead of a centaur, was it a snake tongue?
Yeah, I guess. And this is another one I liked it. Just I love the presentation of it, the composition, the idea of this dog owl, wolf owl coming out of the moonlight. Thought it was neat. I like the way they represented the wings, the stylized the wings and the
Yeah, I
tail.
love that rim lighting. Of
Yeah,
wings.
all that stylization is nice. I think you could have pushed the rim lighting even more, and it would have had a pretty cool effect.
Yeah,
You can
especially that
push it.
directly in the sunlight. But
Yeah,
like,
moonlight. Yeah, or at least I take it as moonlight because it's an owl. And
all right.
I thought this was a really cool pencil drawing. I like the rendering of it. I think it's original or pencil.
Yeah,
can't-
that one's beautiful.
Yeah. And at first, I didn't even recognize that it was six-legged. They really
Oh.
thought about the idea of, because it's a rhino beetle, and so they put the 6 legs on. I thought that was neat.
For a second, I'm like, why does he have two left legs?
Yeah, no, it's 6 legs.
Mm.
Yeah, nice texturing on the pencil work. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Huh.
I thought it was cool. Nice, cool shadows. I really like the cool shadows with the warm, reflected lights. So you really got a great sense of light in here. And I just thought it was interesting. We all have heard the wolf in sheep's clothing term before, and so you see it literally. It's kind of cool. So I had to include this one because it was just insane. Look at all the animals. So you get all these animals, and then you get, what the hell is that?
What in the world?
I thought it was great. It's funny. Look at that snake. That's horrible. He's just getting ripped apart, ripped in half, and look at his face.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, it made me laugh. And it's funny. We had several gorilla leopard submissions. It was,
Really?
yeah, I think like 3. I thought this was, and actually they were all pretty cool. I grabbed this one because I thought it was done well with the markings and everything. But yeah, I grabbed this because I thought
Didn't you do a gorilla leopard?
I did. I did a long time ago. I did it as I think a live
I
stream.
was just thinking about that. I seem to remember that.
Yeah. This is another one where I thought the little sketches were really super appealing. and I guess it's a pug and gecko mix, I think.
What good about it too? It's like a
Like salamander, maybe.
Yeah, except for the little spikes on the back. A salamander is an amphibian, so they wouldn't have the little spikes. That's the only thing that made me go reptile. But like that little sketch on the lower left, how simple, how simply handled the anatomy is, but how really nicely accurate it is. I really love it. I love these little sketches. Makes me want to animate it.
Erica says she loves the top right.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I want to animate it. I thought this is, I just put this one in here because I don't know anybody that would have handled the face and head in the way that this person did. I just thought it was really interesting.
Feels like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Stretched out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I thought this was clever too, mixing a weasel, a ferret or a weasel, and a goose, and really just discarding the goose's body and letting it feed right into the the spindliness of the body of the weasel.
It's just
Um,
a nice illustration.
it is, they flow together really well. I thought that was interesting. It was nice thinking. So this one, I think the illustration is okay. What really struck me on this one was the thought behind it. I looked at this, and a lot of this stuff I like better than the illustration. I would have loved to have seen you take more time on this illustration, and I would have loved to have seen a little bit more care taken in like the fur textures and that sort of thing. It's a nice idea, but I would have loved to have seen you just take it a little further. But what I really love, like I said, is this bat-eared fox and a jackrabbit. And
It's a jacket.
like if you look at the illustration in the upper right, it's a 1 year old male. This person's really thinking about the age and how the bones are growing. And if you read some of the notes down here, there's a lot of thought going into all of this. Now, the juvenile with antlers, if you look at the lower left illustration, um, there's a lot of thought that went into this. And I would have loved to have seen that amount taken into the final illustration. Really, really cool thinking. Really, really well done. I know this is simple. I know this is, it's a bit primitive, but you know what? I can see this animated, and
Yeah.
it really, if you guys saw the latest Suicide Squad with the shark guy,
Yeah.
this to me
I-
felt like that. It was that simple. I can totally see this is a hippo shark, and like I said, um, it I could see I could animate this, and it would be really funny. It's done. It works. It just works. And I thought so that's what I want people to see is that you don't always have to have super complicated, super complex anatomy for something to work. Um, if you find the right style, you can come up with something that's really simple. And I'm not being insulting. There's a childish quality to this in the way that it's rendered, a childlike, I should say. But it's clear and it's got great silhouette, and I could see it moving around, and I can see character coming out of this. And there's something about this I really like, and so I wanted
Yeah, there's something about
to
the
include it.
expression that just works.
Yeah, yeah. So not everything has to be super rendered or super full of anatomy. Sometimes you can just do something simple like this, and it kind of works. This one I thought was really cool. It's a civet, or fossa, not a civet, a fossa, and a glass of frog where you can see into their guts. And I just thought it's like, oh my God, that's a really weird concept. And so anyway, that's this right here. This is the thinking they put behind it. And I've drawn fossas. They had a fossa at the uh, Chester Zoo,
Hmm.
and that tail is as long as the body. It's really, really long and a lot of fun to draw. And you can see they've got this great anatomy to them. And so I really enjoyed
Yeah, I love
drawing
all
them.
the reference sketches. That they
Yeah, and what's really cool, look at the cat and all the guts. You know, that tiny little illustration in the upper left. They've basically figured out where the guts kind of go and worked it out on the adult. It's really neat.
From Becca Bell, how often do you do these drawing contests?
Well, we've just started doing them. This is only our second one.
we did
So,
one like 5 years ago.
oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna try to do it more often. But here, yeah. So look at this. Look at the amount of work put into this, and it's just really, really cool. And I think the final illustration is pretty neat. There's another one I thought was really fun to look at and just a fun illustration. A chameleon bison. So, and he's knocked over some toxic waste. So I think that's why we're seeing a chameleon bison.
The Chameleon Son?
Camellia son.
Chameleon Son.
Camellia son. Very nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
A
Bison.
Baelian? Camellia son. I like Camellia son. Camellia son. But nicely done. Really nicely done. And this is another one I just thought was interesting. Some otters and peacocks mixed, and I love the circular composition to it. Nice clear silhouettes, and just fun rendition of this concept. I thought. So that kind of covers all of our initial ones that I thought garnered some honorable mentions and for everyone to see. There is hundreds more, and if you didn't see yours, it's not because it wasn't good enough. We only have so much time. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here for the next 6 hours. But please know that I was really happy with everybody's, and just I can't wait till we do our next contest because I'm so I just get so excited to see what people send in, especially when we come up with a theme, and so we'll be doing more of that. But these are our top picks, and I'll talk about for various reasons. This first one coming up, I just really love overall the action going on, the thought of the anatomy, the rendition of it. I have a feeling this person, Laura Hansen, I have a feeling this person studied with Terrell Whitlatch. There's definitely some Terrell Whitlatch feel to it, but I don't know. But the idea of a pterosaur and lemurs mixed together, I thought were really cool, and it tells the whole story of predation and fighting over the kill, and I just thought it was really neat. And the anatomy is really done well, really done well. So nice job.
Oh, a lemur dactyl.
A lemur dactyl.
Told Todd says, "Oh, hey, that's mine. Great,
Awesome.
Who?
well, it's Told Todd on YouTube. That's their
This is Laura Hansen.
okay.
But from one of the earlier.
Oh, gotcha. So Melissa McConnell, this one I loved the mood. I loved the background. First of all, the animals themselves are very believable, and the way that they're red deer mixed with horses, but just the whole composition is pretty well thought out, and it has this magical fairy tale kind of feel to it that really drew me in, and so I just thought it was really, really nicely drawn and rendered, and so I thought it deserved a nice little spot in here. Lissa, I get excuse me. So Melissa, I guess you go by Lissa. So this is Lissa McConnell. This one made me laugh right off the bat. I loved, this is a very nicely refined style from Stephanie Shaw. This is a hippopotamus.
A hippomoose?
No, a hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that name. And she literally did it because of that name. She created this character based on that pun, a hippopotamus. And once again, I loved, keeping everything in a certain key, like the background, everything's in a high key. Um, that airbrush quality to it, the caricature of the eyes, the face, everything. I just really like this.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I almost thought it was CG. I was like, "Is that a model?" Or
Yeah, it does feel
because of
like
the
it, doesn't
lighting,
it?
it's
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah, very, very nice. Here's another one where at first you get a little bit lost in where to look, but if you blow it up like I see it on my screen, this is from Jelena Vitorovic, I think from Serbia. Uh, the illustrative style of this really pulled me in. I didn't see anything like it in any of the submissions, and I loved the design quality and all of the line quality. Your eye never stops moving. It's swirling all throughout the composition, um, and it's a mixture of rooster, bird, peacock, fox. Um, and I really, like I said, color wise and line work wise, I really love this image, and thought it deserved a big mention because they really did kind of break from trying to be photographic and just create something that's stylistically really unique.
Very pleasing.
Yes, it's very pleased.
Eldon says it's almost Van Goghish.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, very, very cool. This one I thought, man, what a great character. Um, this is one of my top four picks right here. And this is from Muhammad Afiq Amdeed Salah. I hope I said it right. From Malaysia. And just really, really beautifully done. Nice character. Everything fits together really well. Beautiful color.
I love that added
It's
crown.
yeah, it's just a great illustration. Really love it. So this one, I got to tell you, Joel Jensen. Um, so we're getting into the top three now, and this one has my vote for the most beautiful rendered piece out of in the entire group. Um, it's so beautifully rendered, so thoughtfully done. I love looking at it. I love exploring it. I love the idea of the antlers being tree branches.
It's
The
something you
markings,
don't really see that often.
yeah, the markings on the deer or the elk, those are okapi, which is a very closely related animal to giraffe that live in Central Africa. Um, I just really I thought it was great, and there's a couple other ones that are going to be coming up that I thought took the assignment, which is I just thought they took it a little further. But like I said, this one here, um, it's in the top three.
And before we move on, I think Aaron went back and forth between these.
I did. I
between
kept
these
going
top
back
three.
and
So
forth.
this one's the winner. This one's the winner. This one's the winner.
Yeah, I
So-
did. And
so-
so this one isn't necessarily the winner, but I do want to give the next two, I want to give them because I really couldn't really
Oh, I
decide.
thought we were gonna for all three. We were gonna do that. The membership,
I thought the membership goes to the top one anyway.
right? But for the top, we didn't say that we were giving the membership yet. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that's what you just did. I was getting to that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Sorry. So Joel, we're gonna give you may already be a member. If you are, we're gonna give you a 1-year annual membership to our website.
Yeah, so if you're already a member, you'll get another
You
year
get
free.
Another year, and we're gonna do that for these next three, and of course the winner's gonna get the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
So,
So there you go. So Joel, great job, beautiful illustration, and you got a year membership to our site. Zhangji. Zhangji's a guy that we know. Zhangji, he's on our live streams all the time.
In
And
fact, he's here on Facebook and over here.
oh, right on. Well, Zhangji, you you made me laugh. I love the thought process through all of this. This is and you know, I think your rendering is great. Um, but I really, more than your rendering, I love all the elements you put into this and the thought process behind it. I love that you've got a parakeet as part of as one of the hybrid animals, and so therefore you've got an Australian stamp in the background. And I see it says James, which I'm assuming is James Gurney on there, which is super cool. I love that you've got a picture of mom and dad on the mirror. Mom is a parakeet, dad is a chipmunk. You know, I just think there's so many cute little things in here that just really make this illustration and tell a story. I love
It feels like a Norman Rockwell
it
composition.
really does. Yeah, I love the soda can or the soda bottle top being used as a mirror, and you can see the reflection in the mirror. All of that. I just think it's really, really great, really well thought out, fun to look at, and a nice blend of the two animals as well. So I'm pretty sure you're already a member on our site, but you got a free membership coming up for next year.
Yeah, wonderful work.
Yeah. And so this next one is the winner. And I got to tell you, Kitten Sue. Um, Once again, I went back and forth between these three illustrations, but ultimately, I really love the story being told in this one. I love the fact that you have two animals very, very well blended together. You have a hummingbird and a jaboa, or or it could be a kangaroo rat, but it's more specifically a jaboa with a tail like that. And I just really love that that blend of the bird of the hummingbird, ruby-throated hummingbird and jaboa, but also the praying mantis and the snake mixed together. Um, you're using your lighting to draw attention to the right places. The lighting on the snake praying mantis is great because it pulls your eye right down there. The flow, my eye goes right along the mantis snake, right into the tail of the hummingbird
They're
through
watching
the
on
flower.
they're watching on YouTube right now, and they say, "Oh my God, thank you so much! I can't believe it."
Oh, good. I'm happy. And I'm looking at the beautiful greens that you used in the leaves up in the upper right. It really reminds me of Bambi in the way, if you look at Bambi and the way the backgrounds were portrayed in Bambi, this really has a Bambi quality to it. Um, so everything, like I said, these top illustrations, all of them were beautiful, and you guys made it so difficult to pick. But this one I kept coming back to, kept coming back to it, kept coming back to it, because it was, first of all, we got four animals mixed together, and but it also has got some action to it, and um, like I said, story, just like the other ones as well. But there's just something about this I just really love. I love the blurring of the wings, the action, the little bit of nectar coming off the beak into the flower, all of it. So there you go. There's our winner, Kitten Sue. I think I'm saying that. Sue. Anyway, um, really, really beautiful work from everybody. Thank you so much for participating. And how long we been at it today?
Hour and 10 minutes. Oh, and so thank you so much to cashforyourmac.com for donating our iPad. That's our prize. And,
Yes.
we just want to give a shout out to them again. If you are in the market for a new iPad or iPhone or anything like that, they've got a really wonderful trade-in program on their website, so it's definitely worth checking out. And as our previous winner Cal knows, they're great iPad Pros coming your way, Kitten. And Joel is watching, who did the deer, and says thank you so much. It's an honor to be in the top three. And yeah, these are awesome.
Yeah, and once again, you guys, thank you so much for taking this seriously and really putting your effort in there. I wish I could give something to everybody. Um, Everyone's done, put so much work into it, and I really enjoy looking at the work. And if anything, if you didn't win, if you didn't get recognized, I'm hoping that you guys are watching. I'm hoping that you're getting to see what some of your peers are doing, because that's how I learned. You know, as I came up through college and my young days at Disney, I really learned not so much by learning concepts, but by really seeing where other people, what they were doing and how they were being successful, and trying to implement some of their, at least their theories, not necessarily copying what they were doing, but their thinking into my work, and my work grew as a result. And that's really how we learned together. And so hopefully through, you know, looking at this critique and seeing some of the other work, you may have gotten some ideas and how you might take it further in your next piece of work.
Yeah, and I think some people I've seen in the comments, some people are saying they're a little discouraged that they didn't do better, and some people are saying that they're taking it as motivation to do better. And I think
Yeah, do not take it as discouragement at all.
yeah, I think exactly to Aaron's point, the idea is to learn from other people, but not compare yourselves to them. So
Exactly.
so you compare yourselves to yourself. So if your art is improving and your art is getting better, that's the only measuring stick that matters. It doesn't matter,
Exactly.
you know, and it's all subjective anyway.
It
You
is.
know, I mean,
Who cares what I think?
Aaron,
True.
Aaron literally, I mean, there's probably 10 that could have won, you know.
Exactly.
And not to take away from our winner because it's an outstanding piece. I'm just saying that, you know, it's hard to judge art.
Yeah, but that being said, once again, what Nick was saying earlier has a lot of merit, and it's one of the things that I think I deal with the most with young artists is them compare. They get self-conscious because they feel like they're not doing as well as the next person or that person or that person, and you really can end up in your own head, and you can't do that. You really got to compare yourself to how you were the day before, or the week before, or the month before that. If you're learning and if you're growing, then it doesn't matter how you compare to somebody else. That you're growing at your own rate, and eventually you're going to get to where you need to be. Because I know that, you know, I was guilty of it too. When I was younger, I would compare myself to other artists and just get so caught up into, you know, why can't I see it? Why can't I do it like that? And it's something that takes time, and these concepts and these uh, um, exercises and those types of things, they have to grow. They've got to propagate in your brain. They don't just pop in there and all of a sudden you can do it. It has to. You have to get the concept, and then you have to propagate it, and you have to work it, and you have to learn through doing it, and make mistakes, and that's how you're going to learn.
And I think it's also probably important for people to realize that the way you grow as an artist isn't a straight line.
No.
It's usually a series of plateaus. Like you might feel stuck at a level for a long time, and then all of a sudden you'll make a huge breakthrough and you'll jump up to a next level. And it's just you know, it's little spurts and plateaus. It's not like a straight diagonal line, you know, between how you get quote unquote graded art. It's
Right.
a process.
So anyway, I want to thank you guys for all of your hard work and the participation. We're going to be doing this again probably in the new year. Next week, we are going to be back with a new live stream on Christmas Eve. So that's going to be a nice Halloween themed image. So we'll do a Christmas themed image next week. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I think we're going to call it for today.
But first, should we ask the quality question?
Oh, yeah, we have a question. Yeah.
We do have a quality question.
And so the quality question, if you could go to, thank you. I am a student currently studying agrometrology.
Agrometeorology.
What he said.
Agrometeorology.
But really passionate about art and have been giving time to it a lot. I want to know what process should I take to step up my art career? Thanks.
Well, first of all, agrometeorology is the study of weather and how it affects crop growth, and how you can use weather to increase your crop yield, or why your crop isn't yielding. It all has to do with the weather and how you can utilize the weather better. So there you go. The more you know, the more you grow.
Is there anything that you don't know? And that,
well, there's a lot in there in just in what it's called. It's agrometeorology.
right.
So it's agriculture and weather.
Right. And by the way, that question is from T Blings 50.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's well. First of all, that's a cool field that you're in. I it kind of goes. I don't know. I'm sure there's areas that it can mix with art, but as far as getting an art career going, it literally is finding whether it's an hour every day, or 2 hours or whatever time you can find. It's sitting down and dedicating that amount of time with no distractions toward your art. So I'll give you an example. Now, granted, I was already doing art, but this is I think it still applies. When I was when I left college and started at Disney, while I was in college, I never had any intention of being an animator. I wanted to be a painter. And so when I got my job at Disney that quote paid the bills, I still wanted to be a painter and I still wanted to show in galleries. And so what I would do is I would go to work, and this is when we were working on, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and all these movies that you guys know of. I would work on those during the day, but then I would go home and I would play with a young Dustin who was about 2 years old at the time, and my daughter as well, who was 3 years old, and we'd play and have fun, and we'd have dinner. And I'd
throw us over the boat.
throw you over the boat, yeah. You guys would get on my feet, and I'd throw them up in the air on the living room floor. But then they'd go to bed, and at 9 o'clock every night, and I did this 5 nights a week. I treated it like a job. On the weekends, I took it off, but 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I would start at 9 o'clock and pull out my easel, and I would start to paint. And I was doing my wildlife painting, and I would paint. Sometimes it would only be for an hour, but other times I might paint till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But then I'd have to get up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock to go to work. So I was always careful about how late I painted. Um, but I was able to do that, and over the course of a year or two, 3, 4, 5 years, I was able to get work into galleries and kind of keep a painting career going. My goals have shifted since then, and I've since steered away from gallery work and that sort of thing. But my point being is, at the time, I just literally had to make the time to do it, and that's what you need to do if you want to do art and grow as an artist. You can be a or an agri-meteorologist at the same time, but you're at some point you have to squeeze in your art time. And so whether it's an hour in the morning or a few hours in the evening, that's what you got to do. The follow-up question to that is, I have so many people going, but how do you deal with motivation, or how do you deal with finding the time? Well, first of all, if you're having motivation issues for doing your art, maybe you don't want to do art, because you shouldn't have motivational issues if you want to be an artist. That burning desire should already be there. So think about that. And if that burning desire is there, then you find the time at some point during the day. We all are on our phones, for hours at a day. We're all watching television for hours, during the day. And so take some of that time that you have doing one thing and reallocate it to doing art, and you'll be surprised at how much time you can find doing that. So there you go. There's your answer. It's basically finding that time, dedicating it towards doing art, and just whether it's drawing, painting, whatever. And you don't have to create masterpieces. Just sit there and create. Matter of fact, I recommend making a lot of mistakes, because if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. So, try to find some kind of structure in your life where you can set some time aside to do your art, and you'll be happy. So there you go.
And thank you so much for that question. If you want to see your question, your quality question answered in a future live stream, if you go to cashforyourmac.com/Aaron, they've got a form there where you can submit your question, and hopefully you'll see it on a future stream. They've got some special promos going on over there as well. So thank you again for that, and be sure to check them out. And we are pulling these questions exclusively from there. So if you want your question featured, that's the place to go do it. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everybody that this weekend, or actually today only, we've got 50% off all of our animation lessons. including 60% off our complete animation course, which is our #1 rated course and #1 selling course. It's where Aaron takes you through the 12 principles of animation, his scene approach course, there's lip sync in there, dialogue, acting for animation is on sale. Animated in Calipeg with Travis Blaise is on sale, scene approach course. Now every day through Christmas, we've got a new sale going on the site. And all of these, by the way, all of our courses can be sent as a gift. So if you want, whether it's for yourself or if you know an artist in your life that you think could benefit from some tutorials or has an interest in animation, you can go click this gift this class button on any of the courses, and it'll let you basically send it, and you can schedule the delivery for any day you want, be it Christmas, their birthday, whatever. So I wanted to let you know. So now's a great time to do that. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, I had a great time today. I didn't get to draw, but I really had a great time sharing all these beautiful entries with you guys. And once again, thank you so much for everybody that participated. You did a great job, and I can't wait to do it again. So thanks, you guys. Have a great week. Have a safe weekend. Go out, put some beauty back in the world, create some art, make someone else's life better. That's what we need in this world. And I can't wait to see you again next Friday. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you then. See ya.
Cowboy people.
Bye.
Bye.